Have you ever been standing at the top of a ski hill with your skis or snowboard, looking down at the adventure right in front of you, your body tingling with anticipation? Because that is exactly what I feel right now. Now, be warned, there are a lot of YouTube channels that are turning extremely bullish, and what they often forget to mention, that itself is a sign that sometimes big money will throw a monkey wrench into the engine for another shakeout of all the newbies new to the crypto space, and that gets them to panic sell right before the broader crypto market goes absolutely crazy. Now, I often get asked what is going to do well in the coming months. And well, I don't have a magic crystal ball, so I have to base it on probabilities, which means I don't know what will happen for sure. I just know what the probabilities are, and the probabilities that we have a strong parabolic move coming are very much in my favor. And if you are loaded up on crypto as well, they are very much in your favor. Now, that is no guarantee because we have no guarantees, but still, with no guarantees, loads of risk, even many mistakes when I was new, in the past 4 years, my crypto numbers have gone from thousands of dollars in value to millions. Can yours in the coming 4 years? Well, possibly. And I say possibly because for some, it possibly even probably. But it does 100% depend on how patient you are and how well you apply sound investing principles, as well as filtering through the projects to find the ones that have a better than average chance of making it, as well as buying when it's low, or as I call it, boring, so that you're positioned to take profits when the price is high or pumping. I know some of you listening likely aren't going to make it because I know human behavior, and that emotions tend to get in the way of us and make bad mistakes. Then that impatience takes over and we leave the space. But I'm also heartened that many of you, I think, will do really well in the coming 5 years. Now, if that's you and you do really well in the coming 5 years, I do want an invite to your yacht party to celebrate your life-changing gains. And if it leads to wife-changing gains, at least send me the invite to the wedding I want to see. That'll be fun. Now, many of you in the Telegram group, and I have a Telegram group, if you haven't joined, you might consider it. The link is below. I know many of you have been asking for an idea of what my portfolio is going into this parabolic run that we feel is coming. Now, specifically, you asked for my Blockfolio, but because many of the tokens I stock up on have recently launched, many of my holdings aren't even on Blockfolio, as well as I'm extremely well diversified. So I'm going to go into some of what's in my portfolio, though I won't go into everything, but I will cover some of them. You will notice that many of these are ones I cover regularly, both on the YouTube channel and in our Telegram group. Note that many that I hold are very high risk. They're also in the early days with still some scary things happening. There are many token unlocks from the team, the pre-sale investors, and for the ecosystem, and that all puts downward pressure on the price. But if I'm correct and the market goes parabolic, the market caps on these projects are tiny. And the buy pressure, if that happens, will vastly exceed the sell pressure if this parabolic move happens. And the prices can go very parabolic, and it's possible to see 20x to 100x gains, sometimes even more. And as much as I love Cardano, Polkadot, Solana, Luna, I can't see them doing 20x to 100x from here during the parabolic move that I believe is coming. Now, I do hold all of those, and they make up probably even about 20% of my portfolio. But 80% is in these smaller market cap. When I say smaller, anywhere from $1 million market cap on up to about $200 million market cap. So we'll take a look at that. But before we do, let's take a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, and let's see what we see here. Now, we've got this spread out. Let's look on a closer time frame. Do you remember it was just a week ago that we were right here? And your gut was like sinking, right? Because, oh my gosh, China is really enforcing the ban on crypto and things sold off, and it gets scary. And these scary moments really shake out a lot of people. Now look, a week later, Sentiment's a lot higher. People are like, yes, sweet, the bull run is coming. We are here. Maybe. It is coming. But do note how volatile this is, and we could swing back just a shakeout, and this often happens. If you look back at 2013 and 2017, right before the big parabolic move, there was a big shakeout. Now maybe that's what this was. It might be stronger than this, so look for that and evaluate whether you're going to let that shake you out. All right, let's look at Bitcoin. This further substantiates my theory that maybe we get a little bit more pain before things take off. So if you look at this upper trend line, we're right close to that, and we haven't broken through it. So this is going to be a resistance point. And at this resistance, it's likely to break down. Now, we don't know that it's going to break down. It just is likely to. And where could it come to? It could drop as much as 10K and still be within the sideways trading pattern. What would that do to a lot of people? That would freak them the heck out. And what would they do? They would panic sell. Now the question is that going to be you? Could be the right move. I'd give it maybe even a 4-5% chance that it's the right move. But I'm not going to be selling then, and maybe I'm wrong on that. But the probability I give of me being right on this parabolic move coming is 95% chance. Now that's my probability for my own portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm definitely not your financial advisor. I'm a guy on YouTube that's been successful in the past, but I'm not even always right. I'm just often right. Let's talk about some other things. All right, so overall, when I'm trying to evaluate what things can do from here, let me share with you how I look at things. This is just CoinGecko, and what we're specifically looking at is where the market caps are at right now. So Bitcoin is just under $1 trillion market cap. Ethereum at little under half of that, so 400 billion in their market cap. Cardano at 70 billion. That's actually a really high number. 68 billion for Tether. I really don't look at what Tether's is. Binance is all the way at 67 billion, which is impressive. XRP, 50 billion here. XRP isn't so much my thing. I know a lot of people like it, but look how high this market cap is here. Where could it go from here? It could still go up and even go up a lot, but I mean 5x from here would take it to 250 billion. Yikes. Okay, so XRP I'm holding 0 of. I do hold some Solana, as well as I do hold some Cardano, and I hold some Polkadot, and I hold some Terra. But even look at Terra here. It's at 17 billion here. So is there room that it can maybe go 5x, maybe even 10x? It's possible. I don't know how probable it is. 10x, it might even be probable. But what I'm looking for, and though I hold some of these, I've moved some of my portfolio into riskier plays, which is what I'm going to share with you. So, looking at Solana's market cap here, like Solana's market cap itself is almost 50 billion. And right now, it's at 166. So if it went 10x from here, it would be at 500 billion. And that would put this at $1,600. Could that happen? It's possible. And that's a 10x from here. Now, that's a lot. That's a lot, but it's not a whole lot. So though I hold a little bit of Solana, I've been rolling into these riskier plays, and one of the riskier plays is Sola. Now, one of the challenges on these newer ecosystem projects that are smaller is you don't get a lot of details on, say, CoinGecko. So for them, you find them better on Nomics, and you have a better history. Now, they're a launch pad on Solana. They're not the only launch pad. They're just the one that I know better. And they went all the way up to $1.80 and have retraced all the way to 31 cents after Solana lost some steam going on with I don't know, kind of a hack, but the flooding of their system that caused them to shut down for a day, and just some early growing pains. Personal belief is it's fine. Solana is a relatively new project. They've done some amazing things for a relatively new project, but they don't have all the kinks worked out. And so many of these smaller, riskier plays have retraced a lot during that time, putting them in really good buy zones. So I actually bought some before the weekend up at these prices, and I picked up some, not knowing where the bottom was. So yesterday I picked up some more at these really interesting prices, and it may continue to go down from here. I didn't put in huge additional amounts to buy it here. I put in some, and I put in some, I put in some, and I'll continue to put in some if it does poorly during the coming weeks. Because I like these riskier plays, because when the market goes parabolic, these ones can do better than normal. Another one I'm looking at closely is XP Network. Now, they recently launched, and I'm hoping their price gets even more attractive than this. Here's their website. Essentially, they're tearing down the walls between blockchains. Essentially, a bridge for NFTs between the different chains. Do I know that they'll do well over the next 5 years? I don't. I mean, team is strong. They could make it. I specifically like this one for the narrative for the coming 6 months. And so this is very much needed, some cross-chain NFT ecosystems. And so I like the narrative that they're in. Another one that I'm a big fan of, and I know I haven't been covering them a lot lately, and the reason is their price has been way up as high as 40 cents. Now, even though I'm a big fan of this project, I'm price sensitive, meaning I like to buy when it's cheap. I like to cover things when I feel like their price is cheap, at least for my interest level. You have to decide whether that correlates with how you feel about it, because it isn't financial advice. You get to come to your own conclusions for what makes sense for you. So it did drop as low as 13 cents here. Now, one of the really cool things about holding Formation Finance is that you can buy it right through, let's see what market it's on, Uniswap. You can also buy it on KuCoin, which is really handy. So you can buy it on KuCoin. And you can get it on PancakeSwap here, which is super handy. So if you have some money moved over to the Binance Smart Chain, you can buy it here. And what's cool is you can then go to their site and you can switch networks and connect your wallet, and you can stake it here for 70% returns. Now, the reason why I like the Binance Smart Chain over the Ethereum chain is every time you claim, that causes a transaction, and they're just a heck of a lot cheaper on the Binance Smart Chain than they are on the Ethereum chain. So I'm a big fan of Formation. I'm especially a big fan of them when their price is under 20 cents. Now, unfortunately, it's not as cheap as it was. It was as cheap as 12 cents. It has bounced back really strong. Now, there was some FUD about them like 10 days ago or something that corresponded with this. But on top of the FUD, we pieced together some unlocks that have happened for some things. So that caused downward price pressure. And so the combination of those two brought it all the way down from 34 cents all the way to 13 cents. And something has caused it to bounce right back up. Now, I love this one because just staking at 70% on something that I think will do good anyway, because a lot of the tokens that I'm holding, I don't get the additional benefit of staking for such amazing returns that I plan to hold for the next anywhere from 45 days to 6 months anyway, to then sell as I think we're hitting a top. So Formation Finance is definitely in my portfolio. Now, the one I'm a big fan of is Omni. Now, I've covered them a lot. Hopefully you've seen Manny, who's the CEO, do his Saturday Coffee with Manny videos, and they give away some celebrity NFTs that are cool. They'll be especially cool if these celebrity NFTs get adopted by the celebrities, and they have some incentives that might make that happen at a certain point. But since I was holding the token anyway, I actually diversified some of my tokens around to some different wallets, which allowed me to reserve some different names on the Omni platform, as well as it gave me a better chance of winning some tokens. And I have been lucky and gotten some of their NFTs in many of the different weeks. They give them away every Saturday, and they have a total number that they're going to give away over the coming months. So if you're planning on holding this token, you might as well register. I think you have to have a minimum of 5,000 tokens, and that will let you connect up your wallet and reserve a name. and you put in your email address associated with it, and that also then makes you eligible for the drops. Now, 5,000 the minimum, and it gets you eligible for one of the 3 NFTs that they give away. I don't know what the next tier is, and then the higher tier you have to have at least 25,000. It probably goes 5,000, 10,000, then 25,000. So I spread out 25,000 across a number of different wallets just to give increased chance of getting some of the NFTs, and it's worked pretty well so far. I like the team behind this. Now, this is a social media project. They are going against some giants with some huge market share if you think of some of the social media platforms out there. But thankfully, those social media platforms are abusing their level of power, which creates a unique opening for entrants, especially because it's inside a new technology. And there's lots of efficiencies that crypto can bring to that, as well as you have better custody of your own identity, because Facebook and the other social media giants are selling your data to people that you have no control over. So there's chances for somebody to come in. Now, will they make it? It's a big task. I don't know if they'll make it. Do I love this one for the narrative of the next 6 months? Yes. Will I hold it beyond that? Possibly this one, maybe some. But I will be taking severe profits on almost everything in my portfolio as I feel the market goes crazy. And I'll be covering taking profit strategies for all of you. There's different ways to do it. There's differing risk levels in the different ways to do it. And I'll break that all down for you in the coming months as the market goes crazy, because I think it will. All right. What else? Well, you know I'm a huge fan of Ecomi. Did a Medium article with my business manager that we co-authored together called Omi is My Homie. And I actually invested in the pre-sale in Ecomi in 2018. But unfortunately for me, I forgot about it during the bear market because the price got savaged. And look how cheap that was. You could have bought it for 0.0. I think that's 5 or 6 zeros in there. And then it went all the way up to 1.4 cents. On this big retrace, I have been covering it a lot, especially since now their application is live. They have some of the best NFTs with licenses possible that you can get right through your phone without having to buy cryptocurrency directly. So it's one of the easiest ways to get collectibles. And they have the Marvel license. They're doing some of the Marvel comic books. Yeah, and if you follow the channel, or if you follow things in general, you know that some of these collectibles, their prices have gone crazy in the last month. I mean, back in January or February in this channel, we covered the Todd McFarlane Batmans that you could buy from the shop for $80 a piece. Those at the top, like about 10 days ago, were going for as much as like $2,200. They've since have scaled back, and I think they're going, last I checked, for about $1,400, which is still an amazing ROI if you bought it for $80. That's like a 15x on a collectible. And if you bought multiple ones, like many of us did, you made pretty good returns overall. So I'm a huge fan of their token, and yes, it's coming back up, and it just had a big price increase. You know, we've been stocking up on it. Is this cheap? It's getting more expensive. I feel like it's got a lot of room to grow from here. The company itself continues to make the right partnerships, getting the right licenses, doing a lot of things, and there's some big things coming, but you'll want to check out my videos on Ecomi specifically to go over those specifics. This is one worth your time to do a deep dive in, so watch one of my videos on Ecomi where I do a deeper dive. Another one, this is Solana ecosystem project. Now, SolBank, what I like about SolBank is it allows privacy transactions. And this is a narrative that I think will come in strong at a certain point. And I saw it in a couple of times in the past 4 years where the privacy narrative really came in strong and privacy projects pumped tremendously. And so I've also been buying more SolBank on this retracement here. Spores Network. See, I like to buy when it's cheap, and it is a lot cheaper than it's been in a long time. Alright, so when it came out, you could get it for this cheap, and then it went absolutely crazy up to 10 cents, and it's pulled back 80%. Now, can it go down from here? Yes, my guess is a lot of this is driven by the project's fairly new, and even though they've actually made some really good agreements with other projects, it's just new. And so you have like token unlocks and other things with the pre-sale investors, with the company itself. They usually have some ecosystem needs and some tokens they unlock for them to sell for raising funds for development. And so that's probably what's causing a lot of this price decrease. So the price has gotten extremely attractive again at 2 cents. And is this the bottom? I can't tell you. Part of the analysis helps to know when they came out, and it looks like they came out the 29th of July. So if they had token unlocks about 30 days later, you see this big decrease on the 24th, maybe in anticipation of a token unlock, and then you have another token unlock here. And so the price is down from that. Just a thought. All right. Another project I hold in my portfolio is ADEX. Now, there are a number of projects in the Cardano ecosystem that are fighting for becoming the premier DEX on Cardano, and it's not clear who's going to win. The primary contenders, at least that I'm aware of, are ADEX and SundaeSwap, and maybe even Cardax. Now, I don't know Cardax very well at all. At the Cardano Summit, I was able to talk to the SundaeSwap team for a little bit, and I don't know who's going to win this. I did like the walkthrough video that ADAX did. Their interface looks very clean, looks cool. And so if it functions really well, possibly it's going to be them. SundaeSwap, they have some smart programmers. I feel like they could use more strength on the business development. Like if they pulled in a team member with extreme business development, that would benefit them a lot. So my money's on ADAX at this point. Now, back when I bought this, I did buy it during the pre-sale. I had a friend of mine call up, and the pre-sale was going on. I'd never heard of it, and so I did a roll of the dice and put some money on ADAX. Basically, in the pre-sale, the very first tranche, you could buy at 10 cents if you agreed to a 3-month lockup, 15 cents if you didn't agree to the lockup, and then 20 cents, and I don't remember what the lockup was, and 30 cents during their pre-sale. And then it came out and it dumped all the way down to 10 cents. And I don't know if this chart reflects it. Doesn't look like it does. And then recently it climbed all the way over $2 and then has been pulling back. My guess is a lot of the people that got over here for super cheap have been taking profits, and they kind of panic selling a little bit. And we see this nice retracement. Starts to get interesting. Now, do I know if it's going to go cheaper than this? I don't. Do I know that it's a good buy at this price? I don't know that. I bought it way back here, and I've only sold off a little bit of it. I took some profit out at $1.70. It actually wicked up to $2.50 here. I didn't know really what was causing it. I know it doesn't show going up to $2.50 here. It did. There was some huge buy order in of 60,000 tokens at $2.50. So I sold a few thousand at that price. Wasn't even a lot. If I had known it was going to pull right back, I would have sold a good percentage of mine at that price, and then it's since pulled back. And I'm just holding on to a lot of what I have because I expect that this is positioned well to do well if this parabolic move that I feel is coming does come. What else am I holding? Well, this is one I haven't covered a lot lately, but I just patiently do really well with Wanchain. What I love about Wanchain is you can send it over to, either you can get WanMask or you can get MetaMask to work with Wanchain's ecosystem, and you can go to zookeeper.finance, and essentially you can put it to work for you here, making some good money. So I have to harvest this. I have a lot in value locked up in this. I mean, 77,000 in this pool alone. How do I get that value number to show up? Yeah, 25,000 in this one and 1,400. So yeah, that's about $100,000 in value locked up in this, and it makes rewards for me every single day. And some I reinvest into this, some I pull out of the system, and I use it to dollar cost average into other things. But I'm a big fan of Wanchain. I do feel like the team is really solid. Their tech, they do cross-chain bridges between a lot of the major ecosystems. They've never really pumped from here. I do remember they launched in 2017. In 2018, they peaked at a price of almost $10, and they're like only 10% of that price now. And so I feel like if they get some traction and exposure, that they can hit at least that price, if not much, much, much more. And if they really have it come together in the right way, it's possible it could break $100. Now, at this point, I don't know if that's going to happen. I was a lot more bullish that that could happen back when I covered them in February. Can it happen from here? I don't know, but I love the kind of rewards that I'm getting in this, and I just continue to harvest it and either accumulate more or diversify into other things. Another one I'm a big fan of is Freeway token. Now, I've been in communication with this team for like 6 months. I like what they put together. Now, they have superchargers that you can invest in that will give you higher than normal returns. So they have a Cardano supercharger, they have stablecoin superchargers, etc. Now, the stablecoin superchargers I'm really interested in, because I can essentially move funds over to there and get as much as 40% return on my stablecoins. Now, part of me says that that's too good to be true, and I did speak with the CEO, and he explained exactly how that works, and because they do trading on your behalf with it, and some different things that they do to augment those returns, some different places they put it, and they do have some safety metrics put up in different places. So I'm cautiously going to use some of my funds for this. Now, I'm not going to go 100% of my funds when I cash out in the stablecoins in this, because that would be too many eggs in one basket. But possibly this will be my second largest place that I put my stablecoins to get that juicy 40% returns on my stablecoins. You can see why I'm so interested in it. Now, in order to unlock their supercharges fully, you have to hold a certain amount of Freeway tokens. So what I've been doing while it's been cheap, and for me, I started buying when it was about 1.4 cents, buying a lot when it went under 1.2 and under 1 cent. Just to accumulate a lot so that when I'm ready to harvest into some stable coins, I'm not paying top dollar for the Freeway tokens. And so I've been accumulating their tokens, not only for the appreciation that they might get, but also so that when I'm ready to roll some funds over into their superchargers, be ready for that. There is a link below, both for US investors and non-US investors. They're separate links for each that you can join their platform there, and you can see what it's all about. The US link, I don't know that they have their interface finished yet. They're still connecting up because it has to be different to comply with US regulations. One of the things I do like about this company, they're regulated out of the UK, which does have some strong regulations. They also have gotten approval for the US, which is a big deal and very hard to do. So it gives me some peace of mind. However, I'm still not going to throw my largest basket in this. Probably, though, my second largest basket of stable coins, as I take some profits out of the ecosystem. So their token in general, what I'm liking that I'm seeing is I'm seeing this W pattern. And so we've got a W here. Notice on W's that signal reversal and that it's going to take off. Usually the first leg here is lower than the second leg. Now, we don't know. This could come down even lower, and that could signal that maybe there's some more sideways trading, because it would create a lower low, and it's not the kind of W we're looking for yet. But this may be an indicator that it's a higher low, and it's ready to go off to the races. I've just been dollar cost averaging in this whole zone here. I did not buy a single bit of it when it was up here. Now, this has been my target buy zone. Not that I love that some of my buys were at 1.4 cents and a little bit at 1.2, but I was super happy with anything under a penny. All right. Another one I'm a big fan of because of their narrative, and that's IXSwap. And I had the privilege to interview their CEO about a month ago. And they are listed on KuCoin, so if you don't want to pay the high transaction fees of swapping on Uniswap, you can get it right on KuCoin. They have a pairing with USDT. Now, what I like about IXSwap is they are in a narrative that I have to feel will get some traction, and that is a swap for security tokens. They have a team that excels in this area, and they're one of the few positioned in this narrative, and they're one of the few that has a really low market cap. I don't know exactly where their market cap is right now, but here's what their fully diluted market cap would look like. Their total token supply of 180 million times that would give us if all of their tokens were in supply, and there's no way they are, in fact, a vast majority of them are not going to be, that would put the fully diluted market cap in the 60 million range if all the tokens were in supply. My guess is maybe 10% of those are, so their market cap might be around 6 million or so. That has my attention. So IX swap, one to look at, as well as you see this lower or this higher low here. If we were to draw this out, it looks like it might be forming a W. You got this nice rounded bottom here, perhaps gearing up for a bigger move. All right. Now, I know some of you aren't as diversified as I am. This is my second cycle. Hopefully, you make less mistakes than I did my first cycle, so you're better positioned during the bear market to make some really strong buys, so that by this time next cycle, you're in a really strong position. And if so, you'll be able to be this diversified as well. And so I know I'm covering, and this is probably only a third of my portfolio that I'm covering, but some of the ones that are on my mind. And this is Pokeland, and I like the free-to-play gaming space. Now, I don't know who the winners are going to be, so I'm diversified across a lot of these because I don't know who the winners were going to be. And back when I made my Axie Infinity purchase, put $4,000 into Axie Infinity, and I put about an equal amount into Gods Unchained that was launched about the same time. Now, Gods Unchained actually had stronger backing at the time. I think Coinbase had invested in them and some others. Now, that Gods Unchained investment hasn't really done crap for me. I bought some Genesis packs and, got a bunch of cards related to that. To my knowledge, they haven't even allowed you to move over the Genesis cards over to Immutable X, and so they're stuck on the Ethereum chain with high transaction fees. So the value has been terrible on those cards. But thankfully, I diversified because Axie Infinity, though it didn't have as strong of backers at the time, they then did get good backer, Animoca Brands. It was a risky play on Axie Infinity, but has made absolutely phenomenal returns. And it shows you what kind of returns are possible. The hard thing is knowing which ones are going to do well, so diversification helps. Pokeland is one of the ones I've diversified into. Now, it got really attractive here when it dropped below 25 cents just after launch, it being almost $1.25, and since has had a really flat bottom here. Now, I don't know what the vesting schedule looks like, so if it came out the 11th of September and we're at the 5th of October, maybe they've got like their token unlocks every 30 days. If they do, then perhaps the price will dip down for an even more attractive price for Pokeland. Another one, Monster Infinite, or the Moni token is their token. I do like that it's on the Binance Smart Chain. It got really attractive here at $1.22. It's essentially an Axie Infinity copy with some upgrades to it. Do I know if this will hit it really hard? I don't. It's just a speculative bet. I didn't know that Axie would do so tremendously either. It was a speculative, risky bet that worked out extremely well. So that's part of the reason I'm diversified across multiple. Another one that you probably have seen me cover is Litcraft Experience. Now, I'm an advisor to Litcraft, and I'm an investor in the parent company Devio, so I'm highly biased towards this. I love the gameplay. I played their beta. Right now it's a closed beta. There are ways, if you're in the Telegram group, some of my community members can tell you how to participate in the closed beta and tell you who to message. So if you haven't joined the Telegram group, you might consider that. They all are doing a land and pet sale. And I get some as an advisor, but I also invested a bunch of my own money in additional ones because I suspect these will do really well. Now, many of the people that have played the beta as well as me have said they love the beta. In fact, the gameplay was a lot of fun and highly addictive. Now, my guess is that a lot of people playing this, that kind of gameplay could absolutely blow away Axie's gameplay or Axie Infinity, which to me is extremely boring. Maybe it's just because I don't like that kind of gameplay. I don't know. But if this gets a lot of traction as it goes live, and they do have already a beta version, and I only ran into one very small, non-impactful bug the whole time I was playing, and I probably put about 20 hours into it. So it's a fairly sophisticated beta, and they'll be ready for launch coming soon. And then, so I have bought these. Now, how to get there, you have to have a password. If you haven't joined the Telegram group, I do have a pinned message in there and how you can participate in this launch sale. Now, there's something very unique with this opportunity. Because I'm an investor and also an advisor to the team, I was able to get my community in before the VCs. See, they self-funded this. So it's not like they needed the VC funds to come in. They had already developed this before seeking funds. So they put their own investment dollars to use here. Then they're seeking funds, which I really like that because it's a less risky investment for the end investor. In fact, you can even figure out who to reach out to participate in the closed beta, so you can even play the game. However, if you're interested in these, you might want to move fast and join the Telegram community below and then find the pinned message on how to participate, because this will be going out, the land and lit pet sale, to the VCs very soon. And when it does, my guess is the early rounds sell out very fast, and every round the price goes up. So right now it's round 1, and the only people who have had access are investors in Devio themselves and their friends and family, as well as my community. So you are getting exclusive access before anyone. So something to look at. You can follow their trailer. Well, it looks like you might be able to sign up for the beta right here. I'm not going to click on that link. If you're interested, definitely check that out. I have a question for you. Where are you wanting to see your portfolio at the very top of the market? Do you agree with me that it's going to go parabolic? And at the top of the market, now everyone's in a different situation. Some of you are brand new to crypto. Some of you have a lot of money put in, some don't. Where are you hoping to see your portfolio hit at the top of the market? Is it 2K? Is it 20K? Is it 200K? 2 million, 20 million? Or for those of you who are total ballers out there, is it over 5 million? Is it 100 million? I want to hear where you think the top of the market takes your portfolio. And I also want to remind you to take profits when you get way ahead. Also, have you subscribed? If not, I would love to hear why you haven't. It's okay, whatever your answer is, doesn't hurt my feelings. And if you have, I would love to hear why you subscribed. Also, what content you like the best, and also what content you don't like. I do want to thank our sponsors. Our sponsors, Moodrex. I did a video with them, and they basically have the best bot trading platform I've seen. It's much more simple and intuitive and easy for any level of crypto investor to use, not only to just actually essentially use some of the algorithms out there that you can see what their past performance has done, but you can even create your own as you become familiar with it. The link is below if you want to sign up for their program, and using my link, there's even a bonus to your account to play around with. So if you're ready to level up your crypto game, join us through subscribing as we get into how to analyze projects in ways that have turned my portfolio from thousands to millions. And the system I share will work for you, but before it can, you really have to understand it, as well as how to look for undervalued projects, and that comes through joining us on a daily basis. Also, if you give this video at least a 7 out of 10, would you hit that like button? If this video sucked and it's only like a 6 out of 10 or less, would you also do me a favor? Hit the dislike button and then comment below and tell me exactly what sucked so bad. See, I'm good at investing. I've been doing this for 20 years prior to crypto, 4 years in crypto. I'm new to YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing. I've been figuring some things out. I am probably going to bring on a producer soon and hopefully go to a live stream that's a lot of fun, some engagement. I am working with some additional potential sponsors to be able to do increased giveaways. I'm also working on some giveaways out of my own pocket. I'm going to some of these pre-sale investments, putting in some money out of my own pocket for giveaways for you. And that'll be fun. We're going to call those 401Js. Yes, that's meant to be a playoff of 401ks, which is basically a retirement savings vehicle that they have in the U.S., 401k. And so 401js, and if you win one of those, it's not going to be enough to retire you. Well, it could be if some of these projects go absolutely bonkers, but it'll be a great supplement to what you're doing in your portfolio. Now, my goal with the 401js isn't to create so much wealth through one giveaway that somebody could retire, because the truth is, if you get money without increasing your threshold for investment, you actually blow that money. Now, at a deeper level, people who know how to use money, they call this the water level, and it's the water level that you're comfortable with. And essentially, if you think about your water level, that's how much savings in the bank is your comfort zone. And what's funny is if you don't raise your water level, you will actually, even if you make a whole bunch of money, you will blow it till it gets down to that water level. So my hope is during this 5-year commitment, that if you commit to these 5 years, I will commit to you for these 5 years, we can talk about this water level, and we can talk about how to think about things so that your water level raises. So that if you do make millions of dollars through crypto, your water level has also raised, so you don't blow through that back to where you started from. Make sense? So join us. I like to think that we have the most informed channel, or most informed audience in crypto. And if we do, and if we build that over the coming 5 years, hopefully we'll also have the wealthiest audience in all of crypto. So join us. And I've got our wrap to reinforce these principles for all of you. So let me throw it over to that.
Came into the space chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, you buy before you're good. Was taught to buy when it was boring like a Rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I'll always make the time in mind. I sit the one out cause I'm patient like that. And I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a Rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't lead with my heart. The principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, go Parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a Rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a Rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. The time is never better, the time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and a feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy but with knowledge to gain show. Sticking at this wrong cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing, and when it's slow will be the target. Naysayers come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. I'm sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. In 2 years time the bull will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort cause here comes the rain. So let's go Rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go with the hate, let the haters be crapping. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a Rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a Rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough. And that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a Rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.